You know what? Sometimes I just sit and think about it. Which one do you prefer? Jon Snow with Ygritte or Jon Snow with Daenerys? Because honestly, for me, my heart always goes to Jon Snow and Ygritte always. Because their love wasn't perfect, it wasn't royal, it wasn't even safe, but it was real, it was raw, and it was the only time Jon Snow ever looked like a man who was truly alive. See, in the Games of Thrones world, every love story is complicated. It's political, bloody twisted. But Jon and Ygritte, they were different. It was love born out of chaos, a man from Night's Watch, sworn to celibacy, and a wildling woman who believed no one should kneel. Two people who were never supposed to meet, never supposed to love. Yet somehow they did. Now if we talk about the books, Jon Snow and Daenerys haven't even met yet. In the book timeline, Jon Snow is already dead, betrayed and stabbed by his own brothers of the Night Watch, and Daenerys, she's far away across the narrow sea, stuck in Meereen, surrounded by war, politics and dragons. So book-wise, their love story hasn't even started. It's just a theory right now. But Jon and Ygritte, that actually happened. And that's why for me it hits harder. The way Jon met Ygritte beyond the wall, it wasn't plan, it wasn't destiny, it was a pure fate. A wildling woman with a fire in her eyes and a young man who still thought loyalty meant everything. They were enemies. He was supposed to kill her, but he couldn't. He let her live. And maybe from that very moment, something in him changed forever. Jon Snow even lost his virginity to Ygritte, and that's not just a physical thing, it's emotional. Because Ygritte is the first person he ever opened up to. She saw him laugh, she saw him confused, angry, lost, she saw every shade of him. She even teased him, fought with him, and loved him all the same. She made him question his oath, his loyalty, his purpose. And that's when you know it's real love. When someone changes you not by control, but by connection. Ygritte didn't care that he was Ned Stark bastard. She only cared that he was the Jon. That's it. And I think Jon loved that freedom. To be seen just as himself, not as a someone's son, someone's commander, and someone's heir. And when he looked at Ygritte, you could see it. That love wasn't gentle. It was a wild, fierce, untamed. Because she was wild, she was born beyond the wall. No crowns, no rules, no shame. Just life and survival. And maybe that's what Jon always wanted. To live without rules, without duty holding him down. Ygritte gave him that, even if it was just for a short time. Now when people talk about Jon and Daenerys, I get it. They were both beautiful, powerful, iconic. But honestly, I never felt that same emotional spark between them. I know some of you might disagree, and that's okay. But their love story in show felt more like, I don't know, a royal alliance than a love story. Like something that was meant to happen because of destiny, not because of connection. And let's not forget, Daenerys is Jon's aunt. That's already make it weird. I know in Westeros bloodlines are messy, but still it's hard to feel romantic about that when you know the truth. Even their intimacy in the show, I don't know about you, but it felt a bit cold, like a business deal. Like the showrunners were trying too hard to make it epic, but they forget to make it emotional. It felt more about Daenerys' journey than Jon's heart. Jon looked unsure, conflicted. He respected her, he admired her, but did he truly love her the way he loved Ygritte? I don't think so. Because with Ygritte, Jon did not have to think. He did not have to choose between love and duty. He simply felt. And when a man feels that deeply, It's not just a lust, it's home. And when Ygritte died in his arms, oh, that scene broke me. Because you could see everything in his eyes, the guilt, the love, the helplessness. She looked at him one last time and said, "You know nothing, Jon Snow." But that's not true. He knew love, he knew loss, he knew what it meant to find your soul and lost it in the same lifetime. Daenerys' story with Jon, it's more about a prophecy and destiny. It's not personal, it's not raw. It's a story written by fate, not by heart. And yes, George R. R. Martin did say that in future books, Jon and Daenerys will meet. So maybe their love story will be built in a deeper way there. Maybe we will see something that the show couldn't show us. And there is also this theory that Jon Snow is the prince who was promised the chosen one, who will save the world from darkness. Some fans says it's Daenerys, some says it's both. And there is another beautiful theory that maybe if Jon and Daenerys truly fall in love and if they have a child, that child would be the ultimate union of ice and fire. A child born from a north and the south, from duty and freedom, from snow and flame. Maybe that child would be the real savior of the world, the one who finally ends the cycle of war and death. But of course, it's all just a theory because no one really knows what's inside George R. R. Martin's mind. Maybe he will give us that ending, or maybe he will take everything away, just like he always does. Ygritte was fire. She burned through Jon's wall and showed him that love isn't always about peace. Sometimes it's about passion, chaos, and truth. Daenerys, on the other hand, was that destiny he could not escape. The crown, the prophecy, the fire that could destroy or save everything. So maybe it's this. Ygritte was his heart, Daenerys was his fate. And between heart and fate, Jon always chose duty. That's why his story is both beautiful and tragic. But if you ask me if I have to choose, I will always choose Ygritte because she saw Jon Snow before the world saw him as a hero. She loved the man, not the legend, and she made him human. So yes, but what about you? Which one do you prefer, Jon and Ygritte or Jon and Daenerys? Comments your thought below, and who knows, maybe when George finally finishes his books, we will get to see what destiny truly had planned for the wolf and the dragon. Let's see.